Welcome back to M Hood Fishing, everybody, and welcome to why this water looks like Irn-Bru. Why it's the color of Irn-Bru. What the heck is Irn-Bru? A lot of people are asking, unless you're Scottish, and you're welcome. Thanks for coming by. Yeah, you're right. I know, I'm talking to the Scots in the audience right now. I know it's muddier than your usual Irn-Bru. But yeah, give me a second to explain to everyone else that hasn't Googled it yet what Irn-Bru actually is. We'll come over here to the other side to do that too. The other day when I was here, it really did look a lot like Irn-Bru, and as the sun comes up a lot more, perhaps it will. But the other day when I was here, it hadn't rained for 2 days, and that was actually 2 days ago. It rained for 2 days, and now I'm here after all that. So yes, it's muddy because this is a drainage canal. They do pump. There's a pumping station down there, and then one down that way on the other side of 23. Yeah, so what the heck is Irn-Bru? Well, most places in the world, your most popular soda is Coca-Cola. But there's a few countries where Coca-Cola is not the top dog as a soda. And we won't go into the countries where Coca-Cola is not popular, but we will talk about Scotland. It's not the most popular soda in Scotland, right? The most popular soda in Scotland is Irn-Bru. How did you know? Just because you Googled it while I was yammering. Or you just knew. Or you're Scottish. Yeah. I'm Scottish by a little bit, like 20%, right? About 50% English. And then some other things, including Irish, Welsh, and Swedish, and a few other things. I've never actually drank Irn-Bru. I've never tasted it. But people say that its taste is hard to define. I've seen people say that it was a cross between bubblegum and ice cream, but I don't really know. All I know is why it's called Irn-Bru. Now, it's a secret recipe, but we know for a fact that it has iron in it, and it is an orangey color, right? Some people say it even tastes like Orange Crush, but with bubblegum and vanilla ice cream mixed in. Why do I bring up Irn-Bru, a soda you've never heard of? Well, iron is the key word there. I've been researching as to why this water turns that color, orange. I used to think maybe it was an algae bloom, but my goodness, if it was an algae bloom, this is what I've learned after extensive research. If that was an algae bloom, the most likely algae to make that color is the blue-green algae. Now, people will say, oh no, blue-green algae makes it this color. It actually can make it many different colors. It's not always one color. Red, orangey red is a color that you can get from blue-green algae. But we don't want that to be blue-green algae. Please, no, that would be horrible. So it's most likely a bacteria, not an algae. It is an iron oxidizing bacteria. It's really, really common and super common here. So that does mean that if the water here is going bright orange in this drainage canal, that there's a high concentration of iron. What this bacteria is doing is it seizes upon the iron in the water and eats it and converts it to rust, basically. Hence the rusty orange color of water, right? Now, it's harmless. It's harmless to me and you and to the aquatic life, right? How does iron get in the water? Well, through the soil. Here in southeast Louisiana, we have alluvial soil, right? It deposited here by the river. So it's highly rich in iron, right? So the iron gets into the water through ground seepage, like when it rains. Also, it gets in here because everything drains in here. It's pumped into here and then pumped out of here, right? There's another scenario how iron gets deposited into the water, and I'm standing right above it. Dying grass. That's how it happens. Through my research on this topic, I found a study that was conducted, I can't remember the parish, maybe St. Tammany, somewhere where they have marsh, right? Marsh grass. It was in Louisiana. It was a few years back. And they did a study to see why the water went bright orange there. It's because all this grass had died. This is pretty common, actually. When grass dies, iron is deposited, released, right? Iron is released. And so if you look along here, you'll see dead grass, right? So this is a drainage canal, and they do spray parts of it, not the whole canal, but from Highway 23 down to where it turns into the pumping station down there. They spray the banks, right? So you see all that dead grass along there. If we were here a couple months ago, we would have seen dead grass all along here, excuse me, here on this side and on that side as well. But they brought out big machinery and scooped it only on this side because they couldn't get the machinery over there, obviously. That's a wooded area where someone's running cattle. I have fished places in America where the water was this color because of iron deposits. Rivers up in the mountains that were flowing through an area where there was strip mines and stuff like that, where there were lots of iron deposits. Like maybe the strip mine was for silver or something, but there was lots of iron too, so the iron just naturally gets into the water. So a stream or a river going through that area where there's a lot of iron deposits, it doesn't have to be about the strip mine, but usually there's a strip mine somewhere around these areas. Not always, but usually. And the water will naturally just become this color. So it is natural. When you don't know is when you think something's up, something's wrong, right? I'm glad that I took the time to research it, to see why is it this? What is this? Is this bad? Is this good? Is this normal? Is it natural? So this is just a video explaining that. But because it's a fishing channel, we now have to catch a fish. I'm going to do the easiest thing right now because I don't expect much, because like I said, they were pumping this yesterday and the day before because it was raining so much. I used to have a P.O. box for the longest. You may know this very well. I'm kind of glad I closed it recently, because now someone can't send a case of Irn-Bru. The original Irn-Bru, absolutely full of sugar, right? And the Scottish government passed a new tax, a sugar tax, and made Irn-Bru very expensive, which made people very upset. And then they started coming out with like new Irn-Bru, like new Coke. Well, not new Coke, but like Coke Zero, like Irn-Bru Zero, like no sugar, right? So it could be affordable. But I don't really like sugary drinks. Once in a blue moon, I may enjoy one, but it's not a normal thing. Just as I come through life, getting sugar out, you know, not consuming so much sugar, I don't really have a hankering for sweet stuff anymore. Some things that are maybe just a little sweet, but man, there are some things around that we used to get into as children that are just like, what, 90% sugar, it seems like. Oh, there we go, nice. Oh, he consumed. He thought that worm was sweet. He was like, that worm is 90% sugar to me. Even though I'm not really into sugary drinks as much as I was when I was younger, and maybe once in a while I may enjoy a Dr. Pepper just for nostalgia, right? I don't know if I'd ever really want to try Irn-Bru. Maybe I would just try it once, taste it once, but I can't say that it's something I'm excited about. Yeah, I'm excited that there's a possibility that there are Scots in the audience right now, and they're probably going to leave when I say this. It just looks like pee to me. Hopefully, you know, maybe it tastes better than pee, but it looks like pee, or as you might say, pished. Getting a bite already. Obviously, it's not piss, right? But sure is the color of it. Yeah, I would probably taste it to see what it's like, but I can't promise I'll be addicted to it. There we go. There is fish down there. That was a bite. I can't promise that it's anything big though. I've just come in here to do a quick video about the water, about the fact that it's highly likely to be bacteria. It happens all the time, this water turning orange, right? It's not a new thing. It happens every year. It does seem to happen more often in summer than any other time of the year, but I think this this bacteria has optimal temps. When it's absolutely freezing, it's not going to be doing its thing, turning the water orange, and quite possibly when it's super hot. There's another thing that we can look for, but I don't think we're going to find, but we will come over here to see if maybe. It's just the fact that this water has been moving for the past 2 days, so I don't think we're going to find it. But if you're curious about like a layman's way of confirming that it is bacteria, there is something to look for, and we'll come over here and see if we can see it, but I doubt it. But I will tell you what it is once I get over there. When the water is really, really still and it's going stagnant, this bacteria will form what looks like an oil sheen on the surface, and you can take a stick. See, it's not doing that over here because this water is not stagnant. This water was moving. You could take a stick and disturb it, right? If it was an oil sheen, like actually oil, it's just going to swirl around. But when it's a sheen from the iron oxidizing bacteria that makes the water orange, when you disturb it with a stick, it's going to break up into plates opposed to swirling. I think I want to catch one more fish or so in this video, but not much more than that, because I am headed somewhere else to do something else. But before I catch another fish, I wanted to see if there's cattle over here. You can see just by the weeds that they haven't used this gate in a while. I wonder if the cattle have even been in here. But yeah, usually in winter, this paddock area, if you will, is more active. Like they feed them here, and they're here often, but it doesn't look like the cows have been here recently. It's not like they're running 1,000 head over there. I don't even know. It's a small herd, right? Well, that was easy. Little tiny gill. Maybe we'll dip this worm down there one more time, see if we can get something bigger than this little guy. Nope. There's definitely a lot of fish down there. Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah, that's a likely suspect. They're always down there. Rio Grande cichlid. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, the purpose of this video is just to talk about why this water is this color. Somebody's going to be like, man, you spent all that time just talking about the water and only caught... Yeah, it's because it's what the video is about, the water, the color of the water. Not so much the quality of the fish I caught in the video, but just the color of the water, because people want to know. There's people who probably already knew or had an idea that it was probably bacteria, not algae. But now you know something about the bacteria in the water, why it's this color, and now you know something about Irn-Bru. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Hey, I got other things to do, other videos to go produce. So thanks for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, being a member of the channel. And yeah, you're right. I'll see y'all next time.